last topic in acids and bases is an application. An application that uses acids and bases is a chemical mixture called a buffer. And a buffer is a solution that resists changes in the pH. It doesn't eliminate all changes in pHs. It just makes it so that if an acid or a base is added to it, the pH won't change very much. For example, your blood is buffered to have a pH somewhere between 7.36 and 7.40. You don't want the blood to become too acidic or too basic because the chemical reactions that are necessary for life are optimized at those pH values. If it's too acidic or too basic, those reactions will be negatively affected. Buffers are always made up of conjugate pairs of chemicals. And they have to be a conjugate pair of a weak acid and its conjugate base, or a weak base and its conjugate acid. So for example, HCN, hydrocyanic acid, that is a weak acid. If you wanted to make a buffer, you would need to add its conjugate base. And the way you find the conjugate base is by subtracting an H+. Remember, a conjugate pair is made up of two chemicals that are differing by one H+, and the acid always has one extra H+. So the conjugate base, HCN, minus an H+, will give you CN-. So you would have a buffer if you had HCN and CN- in the same solution. If you had a weak base, such as ammonia, you need to find the conjugate acid that would make a buffer when you mix with it. You find the conjugate acid always by adding the H+. If you add an H+ to NH3, you'll have NH4+. So those two chemicals would make a buffer. Ammonia and ammonium cation together, those are the components needed to make a buffer in this case.